Hi, this is Pierre Delcote working at Planet Technologies. This is my more viewed, shared, reshared infographic. I think it talks to a lot of people. It's self-explanatory, but I will like to, since it has been um, really shared a lot, I would like to comment on this infographic. So this is based on several years of experience doing digital transformation program, and quite frankly, people are putting whatever they want in the digital transformation um, word words, and it's different from one customer to the other, from one person to the other in the same organization. So I wanted to clarify what is my vision. Might not be everyone's vision, but I think it helps to understand what are the different layers that you can see in the digital transformation journey. I will start with the fact that for me, a digital transformation is not a destination. It's definitely a journey. It's more building an attitude and to be able to address some some issues or some challenges around the velocity of business, some challenges around competition, and the simplest definition of digital transformation that I have might not be accurate, but that's mine. It's the way that you design, organize uh, a transformation to reduce the number of people between the consumer and the producers. Somebody's producing something, it's either a product, it's either an ID, it's either some guidance on the consumer. Uh, in the old world, this, producer will have to go through a lot of processes, a lot of people will uh, probably top down the information and then bottom up the, the information back, and that's really not very good for the regarding the velocity of business. Um, so I guess digital transmission came in a era where the technology evolves very fast with mobile, with anywhere access, with the cloud, with other innovations. And so it digital transformation is about digital first for sure, but as you will hear everywhere, it's mainly not about digital. It's really more about organizational and I will say attitude. I will say the way you organize people, process, and digital to address those changes. So I've seen a lot of customers focusing only on deploying the technology and saying it's a digital transformation. To me, it's not. It's just deploying a new technology. It's not leveraging the technology, and it's necessary. You cannot do any digital transformation without deploying the technology for sure. So that's why they're so focused on this layer, because if you're failing there, everything then gonna fail. So it's really key to address correctly with the right specialist the technology deployment. But then you see, I will say most of the customers are deploying the technology and then they do some awareness and training and around how to learn how to use the technology. And I call that those two layers, number 4 and 3, I will call them adoption. So you're focusing on adoption, but adoption doesn't mean a lot. It's not because, and it's not even sure that people are going to adopt. But if you success to make people adopt the technology, thinking that now they know how to use the technology and it's a success. It's not. If I take the example of Outlook, for example, everybody has adopted Outlook, knows how to use Outlook. Um, but is it a success? No, it's definitely not a success. If you hear to everybody, they will say they're overwhelmed. There are too many email, too many ping pong email, too many back and forth email. They're overwhelmed with a lot of information, and uh, and that's probably because there's no guidance around it. There's no alignment around it. So the next layer to me is to learn how to leverage the technology in your day-to-day job workflow with some alignment, some guidance, some governance. I call that business transformation. So it's really organizing how you're going to work. What is your workflow of work with those tools? Now you know how to use the tools. Okay, how you get organized um, to leverage this technology in your day-to-day job. You don't want to learn everything that are in the product. There's so many things, especially in the cloud, and it's changing all the time. So you cannot learn it all. You need to really focus on what's helpful at one point in your day-to-day job. So that's to me that's called business transformation. So you focus on use cases. It's more operational focus, and the adoption is more driven by IT and sometimes HR. It's more feature focus. And finally, to me, the digital transformation, and when you do everything before all the layers 4, 3, and 2, focusing on tools, features, and use case, the next big thing is to get alignment and to change the culture. And changing the culture is changing the way you work. So it's more a matter of behavior. It's more a matter of how we get aligned to create some momentum. And so it's easier for everybody to understand what they need to do and maybe also understand how they can change because alignment doesn't mean it's static. It means that there's a constant dialogue with everybody to adjust to adjust your process, to adjust your culture, to achieve one goal. Um, and you need to be very agile to do that um, because then if you're not, you'll probably be disrupted by um, new competitors who are more agile, maybe smaller, and who are able to come with a new culture, new ideas, new innovations. So the focus is not changing the culture, and I will say it's more focus of CEO and HR, but it has to embed the management layers who are usually what I've seen in most of the cases, the middle management and sometimes top management are really the first blockers regarding the digital transformation because they're used to do things in a way, maybe it works for them, and they think that why would they change? And that's how Kodak died. Even if they had the innovation there, they were not able to transform, to disrupt themselves, adjust their culture to to their world and to the innovation. So it's really key to have a constant to revisit constantly your culture um, and sustain this culture. I often say people sometimes joining a company they don't know the culture and they might discover the culture but they might not understand where it's coming from because there's so many people who are getting out, getting in, that after a while you don't know what is the culture, what is it's built on, and so it's key to sustain and still understand where you're coming from and why you're doing things and what is the global purpose and how it translates in the day-to-day operation business and what are the consequences on the culture and on the way you're working and being a new employee, you can weigh in with your own difference and add to this culture rather than just be swallowed by the culture. That's how great company are succeeding. So I wanted to comment a little bit on this infographic that was very successful, and thank you for all the people who shared this infographic.